20 seconds. Here we go. Welcome, everyone. So this is a steady pace ride. We're going to keep it 1.5 to 2 watts per kilogram, especially here at the beginning. Rolling easy so everybody can get up to speed. If this is your first ride, welcome. Try to stay with the group. Take advantage of the draft. So as usual, every Monday, we talk about different topics. Last week, we talked about mental skills. We had a special guest, Nathan Last, who is a mental skills specialist. And that was super fun. Lots of conversation on that ride. And I see so many of you on Discord, also on Facebook. Would love for you to contribute your ideas, questions, so we can make this a fun dialogue. And the topic for today is going to be recovery. At least we'll start with that. And then if we evolve into something else, that's fine too. So recovery, I'll talk about, or at least I want to introduce the topic of recovery in a couple different categories. We'll talk about rest days. Then we can talk about things that we can do, things that work for you or maybe don't work for you as post-workout or race recovery. So starting with rest days. And really rest days, as somebody suggested, should really be called adaptation days or super compensation days for two reasons. One, it's a more accurate description of it. And two, maybe that would actually convince people that they have to rest, because a lot of people have a hard time taking a rest day. So, but really, it is called adaptation because it is during that rest period that your body absorbs all the hard work that you put in, all the stimulus, and translates that into growth and development for you to become a stronger, better cyclist. So there's the adaptation in the muscles, right? So alternating stress of the workout in your body with rest will provide for supercompensation. That supercompensation is very individual though, and it can't really be accelerated. So you can do things to help you recover, to help you feel better, but you need to give it time too. So very individual. It's good. That's why it's also good to pay attention to your body. And so there's two types of recovery days. It can be an active recovery day, a day like I'm having today. I come in get on a bike and I do a very easy spin. Or it can be a day off the bike altogether. And then the question is, which one is best? Right? Well, it's interesting. You will notice that more experienced cyclists would prefer to take an active recovery day, which is a day on a bike, very easy. And the beginners would prefer to take a day off the bike. In terms of physiology and adaptation, it's really not proven that lactate clearance, so lactate, right, the waste product that builds in your muscles as a result of hard work, there are no indications that an active recovery day clears that lactate better in your muscles. So at the end of the day, it seems that it's indifferent. You can pick if you want to be on the bike or off the bike for your recovery day. So what do people do on their recovery days? Anyone? Anyone, Bueller?
I look at cycling more for fitness, so the idea of taking a rest day makes me feel like, that one day I'm going to lose fitness, so I'd rather spin and at least take it easy than do nothing.
Okay. So you'd rather at least do something easy. It's important to be easy, though, because otherwise, on the days that you want to or have to go hard, then you might not be able to if you don't take that rest.
Sure, yeah, totally. I've noticed that too in my own local riding. I guess too, some of the times it's 50-50. Like I didn't ride on Friday, but then rode Saturday, Sunday. I felt really fresh, so I guess it's more of a mix for me, actually.
Okay. Yep. Maybe you could do other things too.
Get old too.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of change a little bit when you get old too. You need a little more time actually off the bike, unfortunately. Or at least your body tells you do.
Yeah, that makes sense. That day off the bike can also be spent doing something else. It could be some strength training day, work on your upper body, core, etc. Or it can just be a complete day off because, sometimes as part of the recovery, you also need the mental break. And that might be being completely off. So one of the indicators that you need rest is, let's say you have a training session, you go in and you're not able to hit your numbers. So then you call it a day. But then you go in the next day and you can't hit your numbers again. So those 2 days in a row, that's an indication that you might need more than one day to rest. You might need a couple of days, you might even need a week. So with that in mind, how about we talk about, I thought we could cover the nutrition side of recovery and also some of the other things that people do after a hard session or a hard week or a hard event or a race. So the nutrition topic is always a fun one to talk about because people are so passionate about it. There's so much information out there, right? You go to Google and it's crazy. You find so much. So I'm not going to get into the discussion of low carb, high fat, diet, etc. Really, I think we should talk about what works for people, what they do on a daily basis, just in the spirit of sharing what works and what doesn't work. But one thing I will bring up is that there's a study out there from the Applied Journal of Physiology that says the recovery actually starts on the bike. Meaning, if you consume carbs immediately before and during a ride, now we're talking about certain rides, right? Not every ride. Like a ride like this one, you probably don't need anything. But really, that's when there's already benefits to your immune system, and you get that boost in your immune system right away. So the recovery really starts on the bike. So if you have a long session, a hard one, having those carbs before and during will help. Or like Pete Donahue said, doing the latest Zwift challenge, right? So how many of you have heard of the 30-minute window?
Yes.
So the 30-minute window, okay, which is consume your recovery meal / shake within the first 30 minutes of finishing up a session or a race or a long ride. And the 30-minute window comes from the theory or observation that your body's primed to absorb carbs at a higher rate within that window. The one interesting thing, though, protein doesn't have to be in large quantities when you think about your recovery meal or drink. The most important piece is really the carbohydrate. The protein side of it, you only need about 10 grams in that post-meal recovery, and that will help with the absorption of carbs, but you don't need the 20 grams of protein that the typical protein shakes have. The other interesting thing to keep in mind, let's say that you did a hard session and you're in a place where you didn't have access to food, etc. You had something on you. Let's say you had a bar or a gel or something. So you consumed that right after, but you have to drive somewhere to eat. The body, so you don't have to worry about it so much, because unless you're going to be working out that same day again, your body will replenish the glycogen that you need for your next session within 24 hours. So what are some of the things that people like to have right after a hard session?
Chocolate milk.
Chocolate milk, yep.
Recovery powder.
Beans on toast.
Okay. How about an actual meal, not in terms of a big meal, but how about actual food instead of beer?
Yeah.
I knew that was going to come up.
Oatmeal sometimes.
Okay. Oatmeal, yeah, that's good too. Pete is saying BCAAs, yeah, so branch chain amino acids. So Pete, I have been debating between BCAAs and EAAs, the essential amino acids. From what I've been reading, the EAAs, oh, Vento Frappuccino, Jin said, that's good. The EAAs seem to have a higher rate of absorption on the body. So I typically take 10 milligrams right after. That one needs to be taken right away. So a lot of recovery shakes have that built in. I take the capsules. So does anybody else take aminos?
Just what's in my chocolate milk.
Yep. You get those there too. So the recovery drinks. Go ahead.
I was going to say, I'll do half of my leftover peanut butter and jelly sandwich after a race or a ride. If it's still sitting in the car.
Yeah, like that. Peanut butter
A
and
little bit of
jelly.
everything in there.
Right, right. I like peanut butter and jelly even on the bike.
Yes. As long as it's in a baggie.
Yep. How about gels? Do people use a lot of gels? And if you do, when do you use them? Throughout or just at the end? What are your thoughts on gels?
I use gels out in the real world. I've never used a gel when Zwifting. So when I'm out on a ride, it'll probably be like the halfway point. We'll stop for coffee, and that's usually when I'll take a gel.
Mm-hmm.
I'll do a gel after a warm up before a race or something like a short race.
Yep, when you need that quick boost.
Yep.
Yeah, because for example, crits, when you're going to do a crit, for example, it's a short race. If you have something more than a gel, for example, if you have solid food, chances are you're already fueling for recovery because your body's not going to get use of that quickly enough for you to use it on the race. Now, one thing I've been doing that I think has been helping, when I take my amino acids, the capsules, I take one pouch of glucose. That is, it's called a gel, but it's not really gel, it's liquid. But it looks like a gel in terms of the packaging. And I just take that. So it's like direct delivery glucose.
What's it called?
Glucose, Glukos.
Yeah, that stuff's great.
So it's almost like, I think it's the next best thing to having a needle in your vein, delivering glucose to your blood. So I take that. It's super fast.
I'll take that for a big climb or something, where it gives you some energy real quick.
Yeah. I do that as recovery too. So right after I get the amino acids and a little pouch of glucose. The other very important thing on post-exercise recovery for not just nutrition, but hydration. Making sure that you're drinking a lot. You could have one more bottle of whatever drink you have on the bike for recovery too, and then continue to hydrate for the remaining hours of the day. That makes for good recovery as well. What else? Anything else in terms of nutrition or hydration? Anything to not do? Anything that you tried and went so wrong?
I was on a group ride last weekend, and at the halfway point, I had my gel, and I was still pretty hungry, so I had some blocks as well. And about 30 minutes later, I got this terrible knot in my stomach, a cramp. So quickly learned that you can overdo it with the glucose and stuff like that.
Mine needed water to go with it.
Say again?
You might have needed more water to go with it.
Yeah, I started pounding the water as soon as I felt it.
June was saying nuts, heavy nuts on the bike. Yeah, that's also a tough one.
Bananas are good also on the bike.
They are, if you can keep them whole until you eat them. There was actually at one. I remember seeing a banana case for sale on Amazon one time. That did not look right. It was when my kids were when my kids were little. I figured, how can I send bananas to school? Yeah, it's just. Pete was saying sushi, rice, and strawberry. Is that, Pete, is that for recovery? Frumy special. Does anybody know about that?
I mean, I wouldn't turn it down.
So the comment on the gel and the blocks on what seemed to be an empty stomach. That has to do with how water gets absorbed in your GI tract. And you end up having cramps. Too much sugar does that too.
Well, those gels are concentrated, so if you don't have water with them, it's basically just a big glob in your belly.
Right, but still, even if you do have water, if that's depending on the type of sugars too, just because a gel is out there and people consume it doesn't mean it's got the right things in it. There's a lot of, Stacy Sims, she's the creator of Osmo Hydration, and she used to work with the creator of Scratch. Hydration, they started together and then they separated. She went to Osmo, he created Scratch. But they talk about the right ratio and some of the things that you don't want to have in there. So, and again, some people can have certain things, others don't. I have an athlete who absolutely hates any taste on whatever she's drinking. She wants to taste water. So for somebody like that, she just wants to think she's drinking pure water. But as you know, if you drink pure water, that's not going to help you either, and you're going to feel a weight in your stomach. It's not going to get absorbed in time, and it's not going to get delivered because you need that sodium in there as the transporter for absorption. So the solution there is some of those electrolyte drops without flavor, but I still think they have some flavor in them. I guess you could take tablets. Pure maltodextrin and no taste, Jim's saying. Okay. I haven't heard of that. Yeah. Corn-based sweetener. Oh, okay. And it doesn't have a taste. I'll mention that to this one athlete I was mentioning. Cool. How about the other stuff outside of nutrition and hydration for recovery? Oat has no taste, Dave's saying. Thanks, Dave. We'll look into that. Okay, so how about the other stuff? I was reading an article by Joe Frio, and he was saying that if you can, OT energy, if you can put your legs up right after you finish your hard ride, that helps. And it can be for 3 minutes. It doesn't have to be a long time. So sure enough, I've been doing that. I get off my trainer, I lay down on the floor, and I put my legs up the wall. I do think that helps. Any thoughts on that?
I've done that to stretch, but not to recovery.
I've heard of runners doing that, so I tried it, but I didn't really feel a difference, so I stopped doing it.
They might be
Okay.
stretching their hamstrings, I think, but no.
Yeah.
I think
I
Dennis
actually,
Gaskell started doing that one. I saw him do it, and I copied
okay.
it.
So I do that, and I don't know what I like best. I like it because the legs feel lighter afterwards when I stand up, because of course the blood is all going the other way. But the other thing I actually like because of my back, just to get my back flat on the floor. That feels good. Is it scientifically proven to help recovery? I don't know, but it does feel good. Another one that doesn't have any science to back up benefits for recovery is massages.
Right on.
So that even though everybody does it, all athletes have it, right? And it's not, the thing about massage is it doesn't seem to increase blood flow to improve lactate clearance, but it feels good. So it could be also part of the relaxation part of it. But then I also read that foam rollers are really good. So how is that any different than a massage anyway, right?
Same
So
idea.
thoughts on that? Yeah?
Yeah, I don't know what it's triggering, but it does seem to help when you do it. It doesn't help laying in the corner.
Right. I love foam rolling. I do it a lot. I do think that helps. The advantage, I think, of foam rolling compared to a massage is you can apply more pressure with the foam rolling. Because if somebody else is doing a massage for you, they might not be applying enough pressure on the points that you feel more sore. You might tell them, but still, I think when you're in charge of it and you're on top of the foam roller, you're able to get a deeper massage in your muscles. At least for me. And it's cheaper, I agree.
Out though. It's very cheaper. A good masseuse should be able to figure out which muscles are tight and not. They know what they're doing.
Right? Yeah, a physical therapist would. If the masseuse is a physical therapist.
I had a Russian masseuse that could do anything. He was crazy good.
It's nice. Yeah, but there is a cost factor. Hot? So hot, like hot water?
Like the hot tub, yeah.
Okay. To improve blood flow.
Especially if you have something going on, like another workout the next day. Hot tub works really well. I have found.
Okay. Anyone else with the experience with warm water, hot water? How about the opposite of that? How about the ice baths?
I haven't gone there. I think Justin's on that one.
Mm-hmm.
He might be the expert to talk to.
So the jury is out on ice baths. More recently, there was a study that said that it actually inhibits recovery. it doesn't help with recovery. Because what's happening is the ice bath is going to, I think it affects the blood flow, which means your body has a decreased capacity of fighting inflammation. And you need to have that, right, for recovery. Now, cold seems to be okay. So cold seems to help, but not ice cold. So I'm reading a comment here on Facebook. My favorite is cold to hot 3 times. I use that a lot for my fasted marathon. That sounds a little complicated.
That's wrong. That sounds wrong right away. The fasted marathon. Heck.
Right. Right. It's probably Quan making funny comments. I can tell who it is, though. Oh, that's funny. Has anyone actually done an ice bath? I just didn't ever feel like it. It's just,
Just seems uncomfortable.
right. So here's what really works. Well, it seems that everybody's in agreement, all the studies are in agreement that nutrition is the number one. So what you eat after, how much of it, etc. And then in second place comes sleep.
Uh-oh.
But that's not surprising, is it? Because that's when you release those growth hormones. Of course, you're not growing in terms of height, but you're repairing and mending your muscles. So yeah, sleep is extremely helpful. If you think about professional athletes, they're like babies. They're active, they eat, and they sleep, right? So it's sort of the same principle. Oh, Ian said, but going back to that comment on the cold to hot, he said he used that a lot in training for the fastest marathon. Fast, not fasted in terms of not having food, just speed.
Oh.
Yeah. I have done ice baths after long training sessions. What's that?
So that's an important distinction.
Oh yeah, yes, indeed. So that was done more for core temperature purposes. See, that makes a lot of sense. Bringing your core temperature down. So on sleep, I'm going back to the baby.
Uh-oh.
And it's hard. I mean, it's hard to say to yourself, I'm going to get an additional hour and a half of sleep every night. Chances are the schedule is packed as it is. You're lucky enough to be able to squeeze in the workouts, right? And you got everything else going on in your life. So it would be great to say, I'm just going to sleep for 2 more hours. I would love to. But the truth is, it does help. Maybe napping on the weekends after a hard ride.
That doesn't hurt.
We're going to have to use all the other recovery methods. reducing stress helps too. The mental recovery part of it. How about compression socks? I've never used compression socks. Any experience with that?
Nope.
I do have the recovery boots, the compression boots, which I absolutely love. And I found a brand that is a third of the price of the most popular brand. And it works wonders. I love it. I get in my boots, even if it's 15 minutes. It makes a big difference. What else? Electric muscle stimulators, EMS. If you're familiar with Mark Pro, you put the electrodes on your muscles and you get electrical currents to help with the muscle, get it pumping, clear lactate that way, recover that way. Has anyone tried that?
My chiropractor had one that he used on me. So
okay. Yeah. Now, was that for recovery from a workout, or was it for some other type of recovery?
From a car accident.
Okay.
Lower back issues.
Lower back issues.
Yeah.
Completely agree with that. I have a Mark Pro that I use on my low back. So that is, I think what it does, it creates additional pathways, so that, I don't know exactly how it works, but it helps with the sensors in the area and it decreases pain. And I believe that helps for lower back pain.
I will
So
use.
I came across.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
I
No,
was
go
going
ahead.
to say for muscle fixing, whether it's an isolated case or more of a major issue like a lower back pain or something, I will use embrocation in the spot. The low heat formula, and that'll work really good because it draws blood to the area and it warm and helps it recover quicker.
Okay.
So if you have a cramped area or your knee hurts a little or something like that, you just put it right where the pain is. Helps a lot.
So how does that work again?
It's basically, the active ingredient is capsaicin.
Mm-hmm.
So it's similar to like icy hot and things like that.
Okay.
A lot of people, like in cyclocross racing, a lot of people put it on their skin so they don't have to wear leg warmers or something.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah.
And it's good stuff. It definitely warms up your muscles more quickly. Got to be careful where you put it, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. That's good to know. So I came across this article from the Data Driven Athlete, and they do many of the What's Up with Power rides with ODZ, if you've ever watched those. And what I like about the Data Driven Athlete blog is that it's very summarized, very matter of fact. You can go in and you get the message right away. So they have an article there about recovery, and it's got a pyramid. So similar to the food pyramid, that they use for ranking recovery in terms of effectiveness. And so the pyramid goes something like this. At the bottom is, like we said, nutrition. And then immediately following is sleep. The third best is de-stress. So things that calm you down, take the stress away, can be whatever, meditation. 4 is foam rollers. 5 is compression, either boots or socks. And then 6 is massage. 7 is active recovery. And 8 is the EMS, the simulator we just talked about, like the Mark Pro. That gives you an idea. Yeah. But again, you know, people try different things and they might find that certain things work best for them, despite all of the research. Because like I said, anyone can go to Google, do some research. But how about from a practical standpoint, right? That's why it's nice to have this conversation. What works for people? Zwift reduces stress. Bibi is saying here, that's true. Very true.
That depends on how you
with the
do
added
it.
benefit. Oh. Depends on how you use it. I think it's got to be still a stress reducer. It also reduces my waistline, Edward is saying. Yeah, winter's coming for us here in the Northern Hemisphere. I'm glad to have Zwift. I think we broke the grouping too.
Are you in the second half or the first half?
I'm in the second half.
All right, I'll slow down.
What else? What else do people do? What else works? What's your favorite? And something you can do, let's say, well, one, what's your favorite? Two, what can you do on a daily basis? Because your favorite might be having massage, but that might not be viable, right?
Not every day.
Yeah. I'm always fascinated by the triathletes. Of course, because I'm not one. So I keep thinking to myself, don't they work more? How do you recover as a triathlete? Because now, you know, we as cyclists, we think about legs. Any thoughts from triathletes out there? Can swim with pool boy, no legs. Yeah. Swimming. Gotcha. Oh, I just remembered. Something that I use is magnesium. So I take the supplement called Calm. It's pure magnesium in powder form. So magnesium, of course, it's got laxative effects, so got to be careful with that. Not to take too much. Find the right dose for you. 125 to 150 milligrams perhaps. But that also helps with muscles for recovery. It also helps with sleep. So I take that every evening. There are magnesium gels that people apply on their skin directly, on their legs. And then there's the, gosh, what is it called? The baths, the salt, Epsom salts.
So do you find that magnesium helps you sleep?
Yes. Now, I don't have sleep problems. What the magnesium helps is with winding down. So taking that in the evening, and it's interesting because the supplement that I mentioned called Calm, it's exactly how you feel. You feel calm. I've been taking it for 2 years now. I love it. Especially when I travel. I have such a hard time sleeping in hotel rooms. Yeah. The other thing that helps is cold tart cherry juice at night. What that does, just 4 ounces, what that does is will bring down the core temperature.
Huh.
Yeah. So cold environment, cool core temperature helps with, it induces sleep. Having a cool room, all of those things. The other thing that magnesium helps with is when you're anxious or nervous about something. You can take it and it calms down that gut feeling, those crazy butterflies. I actually heard people say that they take it before a race. I would not do that. Because, yeah, you calm your butterflies and then you have to go to the bathroom. That's not a good idea. At least
your
for me, anyway.
Your butterflies will stop the second you push down the pedal anyway.
That's right. It's all part of it, isn't it? You have... Yeah. You're getting ready. You're warming up your engines from the inside out. You're just like, ready to go. I don't know that you want to kill the butterflies. Plus, it doesn't sound very environmentally friendly anyway. What else? Any other ideas? Anything we haven't talked about? Or anything we talked about and it's like, come on. No way. You're not going to offend me. Ginseng cinnamon is supposed to help with recovery.
It helps my oatmeal.
There you go. Oatmeal with cinnamon and calcium.
Oh, cinnamon,
and tart cherry juice. Throw it all in. I like cinnamon. That can't hurt. Did you guys notice how we're always on this London course on Mondays? It never changes, does it? I haven't looked at the schedule.
It will later.
October.
There's like 10 days in a row on the island. People are thinking it might be some upgrade. Maybe.
Okay. Yeah.
Sorta.
How about Richmond? Is Richmond dead?
One day this month is all they're doing.
Wow. That's not a bad course.
They should open it for racing only or something.
Yeah.
Super fun to race.
Especially with those climbs.
Yep.
Those are good because after that big one, you have still a few short ones after. That's when you can drop people. It's strong enough.
I can't.
I'm not getting into that. So I'm thinking about some other guest speakers to come join us in future rides. We'll see who we can line up. It doesn't have to be... It can be about anything cycling, really. So if you have any ideas, suggestions, let me know. Of topics,
Can you get
etc. Who?
Can you get land?
Only if I want to boost the views too. Although I'm not sure. I don't feel qualified to host that one. Let's put it that way. Yeah. I don't want to get political.
Chris could do it.
One of these guys were recovering in Zwift. How about that?
That's pretty exciting.
Yeah.
It'd be cool if we could get one of the guys from GCN to hear their strategies for Zwift or something like that.
That would be awesome. I like that. Yeah.
We'd have 1,000 people though in the group.
Right. It would be one of those rides that Zwift, the servers go down. Wasn't there a ride like that? There was like I think one of the first ones, one of the first GCN rides, that the whole thing went down, didn't it? Because there were too many people.
So many people were trying to watch it, even though it wasn't even riders, it was just people trying to watch.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah. That'd be awesome. Hey, I guess I'll just give him a call, right? Oh, hey, look who's calling me. I don't know this person.
Chicago, what?
What? I wouldn't even be able to find the phone number to begin with. I don't think, right? Yeah. No, seriously. Why not? Give it a shot. The worst that can happen is, no, not doing it. All right, move on, next. Maybe some Zwift celebrities, too. Some people who are super active in the community.
That Shane Miller guy?
Yeah, the llama guy. He's great. And the goal would be, it can be something, it can be half about something interesting that we learn about, let's say, technical things, but the other half could be about, so tell me about your life. How did you even get where you are at right now? What is it like?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah, get that sort of insight in an informal conversation. That could be interesting.
Yeah, because we get their videos, right? So we kind of get the technical
Yeah.
aspect on that. But like, we don't really know anything personally.
Right, right. Yeah, no, that's great. I like that. I'll start looking to lining up some people then. Anyone doing cross this season?
Of course. Isn't that all I talk about?
Right. It is. It is all Dave talks about and posts about.
I spent a good 5 minutes on the ground yesterday, or Saturday.
Oh, no. Did
Yeah,
you
it
have a
was
mechanical?
Due to falling down, yeah.
Oh, no.
Yeah, it was pretty. Traction was decent pre-riding, but then there was about 30 minutes of rain before my race, and everything changed. So there was this little, seemed like a big downhill, but it was just this little tiny downhill that turned into just slippery clay mud. Little too much front brake. Went down, twisted the bars, twisted the brake lever.
Oh,
Lost about 30 spots.
oh no. No injuries, though. Hope.
Oh no.
That's good.
No, some kind of biggish guy landed on top of me. That wasn't fun.
Oh, no.
Like laying there, I was just feel this big clump right on my back. I'm like, hey, dude, really?
Not helping.
And it just got worse from there because then you're trying to catch up. And
How far into it was it? How, like, in terms of timing or distance?
it was about 7 or 8 minutes in.
Oh, jeez.
So,
Right at the beginning, then.
yeah. Did not finish last, though.
Good for you. Yeah, there's that aspect of it. It's like when my husband did Dirty Kansas 2 years ago. He does it every year, but 2 years ago was when it rained quite a bit. Within the first 5 miles, derailleurs popping, I mean, everything just making all sorts of noises, all the bikes, people got all sorts of mechanicals. It was nuts. And this is what, 2 to 3 miles into a 200-mile race. Gosh, and it's also one of those events that you prepare for so long.
Yeah,
All
time and
winter,
money.
right? Yeah. And so he was able to he finished it. I think he had 2 gears to work with the whole time. That was it.
Oh,
Yeah. And, well, I didn't think he was going to go back the next year, but he did. Fortunately, it was dry. Much better.
yeah, he kind of killed it this year, didn't
What's that?
he? He kind of killed it this year, didn't he?
Yeah, he did great. He finished second in his age group. Overall, I think it was 21, maybe. Yeah, he did really well. He's already planning for next year. Dirty Kansas, it's going to become his middle name.
It's tough to think how much better he could do, right? I mean, you're like,
Yeah,
well, shoot, I'm already in the top 5%. How much better can it get? He should do Leadville.
that's a crazy one.
Yeah, it's only 100 miles, though. It'd be easy.
Ah, I don't know, man. I just, yeah, some riders prefer those kinds of terrains. I like the road. I mean, I like gravel, but I like nice gravel. Well-behaved gravel.
Yeah, new gravel is no fun.
Thanks so much, everybody, for joining. We're getting to the end here. Really enjoy having the conversation. Thank you. Hope to see you next week.
Yes, thank you.
And we'll see about getting some more topics and people lined up. Appreciate your joining. Thanks, everyone. Have a great day, evening. I'll see you around.